Music is all about our ears. Although we rarely see any audiophile videos on the topic, but today we cover the most important topic of audio, our audiophile ears. I hope that you will like it. I will be presenting 10 tips to take care of your ears, some theory, and a bunch of other stuff. Spoiler alert, if you're getting older and you're afraid of losing your hearing abilities, I might have some better news for you. Welcome to the Bast Audiophile with your host, the Bast, an audiophile. Today we cover an important topic, so it might be a long video. We'll be talking about our ears, the most precious audiophile equipment. So make yourself comfortable, grab a drink, and listen carefully. A lot of research has been put together for this video, so it's easy to listen to. We'll cover 10 tips to maintain and improve our ears. Pay close attention, because it is said that we old audiophile, we're losing our hearing over time. Stay with us until the end of this video, as I'll be presenting some tips, and also I might have some good news for you old audiophiles. Before learning about these 10 tips, we need to review a little bit of theory. Our world is covered with frequencies in the air. We live like in a soup of frequencies. Different colors, different heats, different sounds, different radio frequencies, and so on. Every element in our environment produces wavelengths, therefore emits different frequencies. All frequencies are represented in hertz. 1 hertz is 1 frequency per second, or 1 wave per second. For example, 300 billion wavelengths, or hertz, start to heat. These frequencies are called infrared. And below 20 Hz are, for example, electromagnetic waves. Our brain produces some of these ultra-low frequencies. The good news is that our ears start to hear from 20 Hz. Otherwise, we would hear our brain thinking. Our ears can hear from 20 Hz to 20,000 Hz. For the purpose of this video, we will focus on this part of the spectrum. Here we can see that the ears usually can sense frequencies in the air from 20 Hz to 20,000 Hz. We see the language spectrum usually used. This is an approximation you see on the graph. Some languages go higher or lower in the sound spectrum. The music spectrum is usually comprised between 20 Hz to 20,000 Hz. We can see here that too loud becomes our limit of pain, and too low a threshold of audibility. Usually audiophile classifies sounds as the following. The sub-bass starts at 20 Hz and stops by 60 Hz. The bass sounds starts at 60 Hz and stop by 250 Hz. The mid-range sounds, where we can locate mostly guitar, piano, and voice, starts at 250 Hz and stop by 2000 Hz. The high frequencies, also called treble, include sounds like high voice or cymbals. They start at 2000 Hz and stop by 20,000 Hz. Some people can hear below 20 Hz and some above 20,000 Hz, especially kids and women. Please note that with age, our ears tend to lose sensitivity in the mid-treble region, started at 4,000 to 6,000 Hz. This is why sometimes people have problem hearing conversations in public setup or in a cocktail reception or in a bar. It becomes hard to understand some part of the language zone, therefore some words are like chopped off. Same goes with music. It becomes harder to grasp the whole treble region as we get older. That happened to me in my 50s. I went to pass an hearing test recently. I have it here. It's an audiology evaluation, as they call it. Like many other audiophiles, I start to lose some sensitivity starting in the 4000 Hz region. I'll make a video of these tests pretty soon. I highly encourage you to pass one of these tests if you're serious about audio. But wait for my video first, because I present some advice. Also, dear older audiophiles, we don't need to be discouraged, because I might have better news for you. Now, what does all this mean for music? The real question is, how do our ears function? Well, it's a combination between biology and neurology. It's a combination between our ears physically and how our brain decodes the inputs. Basically, it's a combination between hardware and software. And that's the good news for older audiophiles. Let's look at the hardware and the biology of the ear. The ear is comprised of 3 sections. The outer ear with the ear canal, the middle ear with the Eustachian tube, and the inner ear with the cochlea, where the sound is decoded for the brain. First, the outer ear and the ear canal shape the sound like a speaker horn. Everyone being different, everyone hears differently. The cleanliness and shape of your ear and your ear canal are important. They shape how your brain trains himself to decode the sound and hear music. More on that later. Second, the middle ear is comprised of the eardrum and a bunch of little bones that will knock on the entrance of the inner ear. The middle ear is linked to the Eustachian tube that goes in the mouth. That is to regulate pressure and why it helps to blow while blocking your nose when you land in an airplane. The section that interests us the most as audiophile is the inner ear where the cochlea is. The inner ear is comprised of the labyrinth, where 3 branches of fluid are responsible of our balance. This is where the brain knows where the ground is and how to position the body to maintain balance. The inner ear is also where the cochlea is located. The cochlea is a long spiral where the brain detects sounds. This is the sensitive part where the music is heard. The cochlea is like a huge long horn, a funnel in spiral that detects different frequencies at different part of its length. The beginning detects the high frequencies. As the wavelengths go deeper in the funnel, it detects the mid-range and then the bass, finally the sub-bass. You can clearly see in this image where the high frequencies are detected up to 2000 Hz, the mid-range until 250 Hz, then the bass. Please note also that the whole body is involved in detecting the bass and the sub-bass. We can feel the subwoofer from our chest at times, which is kind of cool. It helps our brain to better detect and interpret the frequencies. Now, how does the cochlea detect these frequencies? We can see here that if you cut the cochlea on the side, you can see that there are 2 rooms for the sound. One is linked to the auditive nerve by little nerves like air. When these micro nerves vibrate, our brain is trained to decode this sensation as either a high, a mid, or a low frequencies according to where the hair are in the cochlea. Yes, the cochlea is built like an equalizer. Our brain is trained to recognize the sounds from where they are vibrating along the cochlea. The vibrations are interpreted as music, the source of food, a source of danger based on the micronerve's movement. Hearing is at the end a brain interpretation. And that is the good news for older audiophiles. Our brain is trained, meaning that we can train it. That changes everything for old audiophiles. It's true that with age our cochlea becomes less sensitive in high frequencies and sometimes the lower ones. But we can compensate by listening to more music at decent volume, please. Our brain learns to recognize specific patterns of sound, meaning that our brain gains experience. We learn to recognize soundstage. We learn to develop ability to hear nuances and detail. We learn to recognize specific tonalities. It's all in the training. When we pay attention, our brains develop recognition of sub-bass and high treble. We might lose the ability to hear perfectly all frequencies. And even with age, we're able to hear well and interpret sound even with less information because we know what to look for. The whole process is called neuroplasticity. It's a little bit like a tennis player. The older a player gets, he or she loses some pure health conditions. But a player will never lose some game strategy and techniques, understanding a good position on the field. Meaning that an old experienced tennis player can still be a challenge for a younger one, even if that younger player is in better shape. Dear audiophiles, all hope are not lost. We can enjoy music until old age, as long as we continue to train our brain to listen actively to music for details and different aspects of the music. Okay, enough theory. Now let's see how we can take care of our ears and train them to become more experienced as audiophile. Before we jump in the top 10 tips, I'd like to take the opportunity to invite you to interact with us. Comment on this video, like and subscribe if you want to see more of these videos. I read every comment and learn from them. What would you like us to cover and improve? Also, if you want to take part in the making of these videos, join my Patreon. Thank you. Now back to the video. Now let's review the top 10 tips to maintain and train our precious ears. Tip number 1. Protect your ears from noise at all costs. This is not a joke. If you need to wear headphones or earplugs to cover your ears, don't bother with people's reaction. Cover your ears at all costs in a noisy environment. The American Medical Association, the MAA, recommends to maintain sound to less than 70 dB at all time, meaning that it's okay to wear earplugs when outside when the streets are too loud. Sennheiser makes great earplugs as well, to adapt at different sound level, from walking outside to attend music concerts. I have some here, it's from a different company, but you can change the little adapters to different level of sound. The Sennheiser ones are called SoundProtex and they start at $49. The link is in the description down below. In general, you're invited to listen to music below 85 dB to prevent ear damage. When using headphones, keep the volume as low as possible to protect your ears. Be cautious of noise-cancelling headphones and IEMs. More on this later in this video. Tip number 2. Q-tips stay outside of the ear. Q-tips are good to clean the outer ear, but not the ear canal. They're made to clean the exterior, not the inside. Q-tips have a warning label to that effect since the 1970s. If you use them inside, they can create damage and wax accumulation. Doctors are consequent on that regard. They see cases daily. Don't use Q-tips to clean inside your ears. Tip number 3. Clean your ears if needed with peroxide. Wax is healthy for the ears as it protects them. And ears clean themselves naturally, so there's nothing to do. But wax can be excessive. If it's your case and you need to clean inside your ears, do so as recommended by the Stanford Otolaryngology Clinic. The link is down below in the description. They show you how to proceed exactly. But to synthesize, first you start with one ear. You take peroxide and a cotton, and you put peroxide in the cotton. Then you move your head on the side and you drip the peroxide in your ear like this, and you let it work for 5 to 10 minutes. Then after the 5 and 10 minutes you can use a towel and clean your ear like that, and repeat for the other ear as well after. You may do this once in a while. Peroxide is harmless if used occasionally, but be careful not to over-repeat the procedure without any pauses. This might irritate your ears if you do it too often, so once a day is enough. Tip number 4. Give your ears some vacation time. Why not give your ears a treat and send them to vacation to silence land once in a while? Wearing earplugs can help, like the Sennheiser SoundProtex shown in the link down below. And you can use them like going outside or in your home. Silence over a long period of time can calm and reduce stresses for the ears. With time, this can bring more sensitivity gain. Your ears will then be ready for better appreciation of music when played. Tip number 5. Some vitamins can help. Really? Yes, food can make a difference. Vitamins A, C, E, and zinc, flavonoids, and antioxidants can be beneficial for the ears. Tea, blueberries, broccoli, oranges, and other food with these vitamins can help your ears in the long run. Tip number 6. Avoid cigarette. Yeah, the National Institute of Health reports that smoking irritates and may block the eustachian tubes which connect the middle ear to the back of the throat. The eustachian tubes are responsible for draining the fluids and maintaining air pressure in the ears. So smoking may interfere with the nerves in your ears, making them more sensitive to loud noise. It also increases the risk of losing hearing. Finally, cigarettes are no good for machines and no good for the sound system. Tip number 7. Give your ears some time to heal. If exposed to loud noise, keep your ears in silence for a long period. Refer to tip number 4. It will help your ears regaining some of their sensitivity. Again, please visit the link to Sennheiser SoundProtex earplugs down below in the description. No, I don't make a commission. Tip number 8. Avoid IEMs and noise-cancelling headphones. I'm sorry, I might offend some manufacturers here, but IEMs can change the shape of the ear canal and hurt the ear in the long run. The noise cancelling function is great for phone conversation, no doubt. But remember that it doesn't remove the sound. On the contrary, it adds another equal sound to counterbalance the ambient sound, which give us the impressions of silence. Basically, it doubles the ambient sound. So noise cancelling headphones are no good in the long run for our ears. So please keep these headphones for the use they are intended to. You can always deactivate the noise cancelling function in most cases. Tip number 9. Turn the volume down. Most of the time we don't need high volume on our headphones or speakers. We use these equipment for phone calls, video conferences, YouTube watch, movies. We don't need a loud volume. If you can, get your ears used to low volume for most of these tasks. Train them. They will become, with time, a little bit more sensitive, and that will help build the connections in your brain. Reserve high volume for your music listening only. Your daily efforts with noise reduction will be beneficial with time. Tip number 10. Train your ears. As shown previously in this video, you cannot change your ears, but you can work on your brain. Remember that when you listen to music, you're training your brain. Have fun recognizing some patterns and detail in music to develop your brain connections. Use neuroplastic to your advantage. Practice your ears to identify details at different volumes, soundstage, resolutions, sub-bass, mid-range, high treble. Practice listening. Well-trained connections in your brain can compensate for loss detection of your ears. Remember that the pleasure of music can continue until old age. That is the reason why I posted this video. There's some hope for everyone. So that's it. We've made through the 10 tips and the theory as well. Everything to take care of your audiophile ears. In conclusions, ears might not improve, but brain connections can become more agile if you practice regularly your favorite hobby. Thank you for watching up to the end of this video. As always, should you like what you hear in this video, you're kindly invited to comment, like, and subscribe to this channel. Also, should you want to be part of the production of my videos, you're welcome to support my Patreon. It gives you a closer access to the production. Finally, if you're a manufacturer and you want us to review one of your product, you're kindly invited to write us via the email provided in the About section of this YouTube channel. On this note, we hope to see you again soon. Remember to practice your listening skill often. Up to the next time, see you, goodbye.